Hey everybody, welcome back to Ryan Makes Sense. Today we are looking at ticker symbol MANU. This is Manchester United PLC. I believe this is the soccer team, but we're gonna dive a little deeper and actually see what it is. Um, I've been watching a lot of Ted Lasso, and when I saw Manchester United, I was totally thinking of the soccer team and how this one would be a really good one to analyze. So I believe they have earnings today. We're gonna go ahead and look at some targets to the upside and the downside. We're going to run my calculation. We're going to look at hedge funds and institutions, see what the balance sheet's doing, and have a lot of fun. So first thing we're going to do is hit the subscribe. Second, looking at gaps. This is a very gappy chart. And what I mean by that is we have a gap here and we have a gap here. So for Manchester United, I think the upside targets are obviously going to fill these gaps around $20.50 and also $22.50. That is the upside target. We're going to go ahead and expand the chart here and we're going to see what the potential downside targets are. All right, looking at this at a high level, I mean, we have a clear as day quadruple top here, top, 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 top. Looking at supports and resistances, and again, we're trying to get to the downside targets now. I think, here we go. Perfect. Got a nice little triangle there. So the downside target is gonna be 1437. That's target number one. Target number two, and we're gonna do support here. I think probably right. Let's. I'm gonna remove that line that I just drew on accident. I'm trying to squish it all together to see if there's any other historical. Okay, so I guess this stock has not been trading for too long. Going back historically, good support at 12. So let's go ahead and just, I would say, yep, 1262. So our first downside target is gonna be 1427 and then 1272. My calculation is gonna let us know if the stock is overvalued or undervalued. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. It does look like Bulls had a shot. I'm not saying they don't. It looks like momentum is still reversing and coming to the upside. So is it going to continue down before it reverses up? That's unknown. Strength is actually with the Bears. It's under 50. It's basically at a midline. There's no clear sign if the Bulls or the Bears have it at this moment. Money flow looks like it dipped pretty low and kind of bounced back up. Relative momentum indicator does show us that momentum is not going or favoring the Bulls. So it's possibly predicting more downside based on the relative momentum indicator here. It does mirror our MACD here, so that makes sense. And again, the strength, I don't see much strength for the Bulls here. So what we need to see from Manchester United is um, very strong earnings report. I'm gonna go ahead and just get some pages loading here. Okay, so those are gonna load in the background. All right, looking here, sales are flat. I would say overall flat. We have not bounced back to our 2019 levels of 811 million. Shares outstanding are flat. EPS though looks beautiful, nice turnaround. You see the big U coming back upwards. So we do expect the EPS to potentially go positive for 2024, which is fantastic. We can see that Manchester United is not profitable, unfortunately. So let's see what. I just opened up the website because I want to see what actually Manchester United is, and it definitely looks like football, soccer. So looks like 894 million for sales is good. It's actually that surpasses the 2024 surpasses the 2019. So I think we're heading in the right direction, both in the sales and the EPS. This could be a decent area to possibly think about buying. The stock has been at the same level since 2013. Could you imagine this owning this for 11 years and not getting a big return? Um, I think they pay a dividend, not really quite sure. But I mean, again, the stock's been as high as 26 and as low as 10, 10.50. So, I mean, it's been trading in a big box for a long time. Um, Based off of this relative momentum indicator, we can wait. I can wait. We're gonna go ahead and run my super fancy calculation. So they have 2,170, sorry, 2,071,000,000 in market cap. Good for them. They are losing 17,710,000. 17 million, yep. But they do 894,960,000 in sales. Beautiful. And I need to confirm that this is USD down here. It is in USD. One of the latest FinViz enhancements that I really like. All right, they have 80 million in cash, so plus 80 million, 70,000. Total debt, not that much, 655,520,000. Okay. Total assets is 1.8 billion, total liabilities 1.7 billion. Ooh. They have about a $122 million buffer. A little scary there, mate. Wow. So last quarter was even smaller of a buffer. So they've widened that buffer, but it's a little scary. Okay. And then I didn't really check out their margins. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Every $100 they spend, they get back $100.08. Oh my gosh. I have to go back down. What? Cost of goods, 234 million. Total revenue 280 million. It's not as bad as it sounds. That's not too terrible. I think it's looking for the year. So like, oh my God. Q2 of last year, they spent 211 and they made 209. They lost 2 million. First quarter of last year, they spent 214 and made 206. They lost 8 million. Oh my goodness gracious. At least, you know what? Next quarter, right here too, they spent 233 million. They only made 198. This is their saving grace right here. Last quarter of 2023. That's crazy. Wow. So they got saved by the bell on that one. Barely. Just insane. Again, they're turning things around. It looks like a turnaround. So just wow. That's incredible. Quick ratio, red flag, obviously. This wasn't as big as of a concern as we thought, but you can see they're addressing. It went from 8 and then long term down to 5. Um, yeah. Okay, let's finish up our calculation here. We're going to divide this by 38,100,000. Sorry, 30,010,000. It's saying a $79 stock, but I don't see that. What could be indicative of this thing is very undervalued is if institutions own a lot more than 16%. So old data shows that they own 16%. New data shows that they own. We're going to have to manually calculate it. So they own 30. Remember 31,062. 31,062. Actually, we'll just do it for the whole thing. 62,289 divided by 38,010,000 minus. So they own 18%. So up about 2%. So not a huge increase. And we can actually see this is actually lowest since about 2019. 2019, the stock was trading at, I mean, decent levels, 18 bucks. What are the big boys and girls doing? Let's find out. Wow, these are all big owners. Okay. Wow. Wow. Who? Okay, remember these names because I think we're gonna put some pieces together here. All right, insider ownership definitely big time up. Okay, Glazer, Blanc, Bell, Roche. Glazer. All Glazers. Okay. Um, wow. 12 million shares, 16 million, 18 million, 11 million, 10 million, 15 million. Wow. Wow. Okay. That's quite a bit of ownership. I don't see anyone selling. So, I think they have a turnaround coming, both in sales. We can see right here, sales 894 and EPS. I think gross margins are going to turn around. However, it might take more than 4 quarters. Probably looking in 2026 here for a full turnaround. Um, I mean, the stock is trading at the same levels as it was 11 years ago. The risk here, I don't know if there's much risk. I mean, maybe we go back down to 10. I think we got plenty of time to watch it do a little up, down, up, down, up, down. I don't really feel compelled at the moment to pull the trigger on a position, just because I would like to see what their earnings are going to be. Um, However, again, I think this is a good turnaround story. Could go back to 26 eventually. But again, I think we can afford to just kick it for a minute, you know? Um, Shares float are low, and I mean the insiders own a lot. And these filings are from February of this year, so pretty insane. Um, Linsdale Train did sell about 3 million shares, and then Massachusetts sold about 3.4 million shares. But I mean, look at all these positions. Jeez. So, oh, cool. That's my analysis on stock. We talked about our bullish targets, our bearish targets. Institutions and hedge funds have added a little bit. We looked at the balance sheet. Gross margins are gross. We want to wait for that. And I think the company actually is slowly turning over a new leaf. But it is something we're going to have to wait and see. So if you made this far, thank you so much for watching. If you're in this one, good luck. Hope you're doing well. Consider subscribing. Goodbye.